life after. I will tell you soon. You can start.
Hello, everyone. And I just want to give my warm thanks to IIU that they give me this opportunity to conduct this session with my friends of Facebook, the members, and no doubt the all brilliant people all around. I am Huma Ajmal. I am the director of Thrive and Strive, an educational organization. I have completed my master's degree and BEd in education. I am passionate teacher and lifelong learner. I love to work with the students, and I just want to give them an opportunity to learn in a friendly and in an effective environment. I always provide them hands-on learning and activities so they can get their learn and get the information and knowledge in a very comfortable environment. I also like to work with that type of planning and curriculum that will not create any burden on my students. They will feel fresh, free, and enjoy. So this is Huma Ajmal. I am from Pakistan, and the topic for my webinar is STEM. But before going to do this presentation, I just want to introduce what is this IIU. So let me give me a few time so I can share my screen. So first of all, I just want to give you introduction of the IIU, Inspiring, Inventing, Igniting Young Minds. International Internship University is a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well-reputed in developing innovative programs globally. It is trusted name for quality training programs, and it is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 190 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit Sir. A committed and inspiring social activist, passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. Believe me, this is very small introduction about IIU. Otherwise, it's doing a wonderful job for entire the people who wants to learn and enhance their learning. So now, come to my topic. And my topic is STEM education. STEM refers to a set of interlinked subjects that are important, foundational concepts for kids and adults in today's world. Now, when you listen or when you read the word STEM, definitely the word comes in your mind that science, technology, engineering, and maths. But it's not as simple that we integrate these subjects and we teach them in a cohesive way. It's not like this. There is something different which makes students how to learn and what are the real issues of this world. So now my next first we will discuss about this. What are the objectives? So first we will discuss what is a STEM education. How is the STEM education different from traditional education? Why STEM education is important? And what are the elements of STEM education? How to promote STEM skills in kids so they will be able to learn STEM and science, technology, engineer, maths in a cohesive way. And then the last but not the least, we will learn how to start STEM education in your school, at your home, and all around. You can get it. So now my first, as we will move, what is a STEM education? Yes, STEM education is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Today, then you will learn how they all subjects are interrelated and integrated with each other. Now, what is STEM education? I will say that children are born curious. They are scientists and engineers from the first time they reach out to explore their work. As they grow, they ask many questions each day about the world around them. And this is how children build confidence, capacity, and mental habits that will enable them to conquer the challenges of their futures and, of course, our. So this is the simple and basic definition about the STEM. If you said that STEM is not only stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it is a method of education wherein the subjects are taught in cohesive instead of isolation. It emphasizes on bridging the learning gap by putting the children at the core of experience, making them active learners from the passive listeners. STEM is not just an acronym for the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's not the S for science and T for technology and E for engineering and M for mathematics. It's not like this. It's integrate these all subjects so it make students observe, experience, and create. It addresses the concern that these disciplines or subjects are often taught in isolation. In fact, it's not all are, they are not separate with each other. We cannot make them separate. They are intervened. It is the cohesive interdisciplinary approach based on hands-on activities. Now move to my next slide. Over here, I just want to discuss what makes STEM learning or STEM education appropriate and why it is different in the comparison to the traditional learning. If you will see my slide, you can easily understand that traditional types of education was full of burden. The student comes to school with a lot of burden of books, and they know what they will do in teacher-centered classroom. They have nothing to do except listen to the teacher. Over in traditional learning, what is the method? They read and then memorize. Then they do the practice. Then they recite. That's rote learning. And after that, they just struggle to get grades, good grades. So this is how traditional learning was going on. But now once you will switch on to the STEM education or STEM learning, it's unlike traditional learning. Over there, the learner first observe. We will provide them some concrete material. We provide them some material. They observe. They start asking questions. And then they build hypotheses. And after hypothesis, they experiment and analyze what is wrong and right. And after that, they make one conclusion. What is this? Now, if you understand and if you agree with me, in today's world, it is impossible to dissimulate these fields from one another. If I ask you to just pick anything from your household or from your office and try to fit it just any one of the STEM subjects. I'm sure it is impossible for you to do so. For everything, because everything is integrated with each other, interrelated each other, so we get good results. STEM encourage kids to experiment, make mistakes, and then learn from those mistakes and those experiences to reach correct outcomes, rather than relying on the books, what the textbook says. Critical thinking, logical analysis, inquiry, and project-based learning are the keystone of STEM education. It boosts the curiosity in the kids, making learning process fun, relevant, and everlasting. This is a paradigm shift from traditional education to the widely lax and hands-on learning to the learning that is much better and deeper. Traditional learning, believe me, was not good and was not providing all the things which a child thinks, and especially after the COVID and in 21st century. We cannot only rely on the teacher-centered classroom. We have to create something innovative, something innovation that make the students love to learn. Now, come to the next. Why STEM education is important? Now, when we talk about the how and why education important, so the thing which come in thing and the basic concept of the STEM education is that this STEM education is essential for achieving the highest level of learning. And when we are talk about highest level of learning and higher order thinking, so the first person comes in our mind, that's Bloom's taxonomy. And you and we all know that the level of learning Bloom's give us, that's really, really helpful for the teacher and for the students to enhance, to understand, to comprehend, to evaluate, to create all the things. So we integrate this STEM education with the Bloom's taxonomy. For example, if we talk about Bloom's taxonomy, it's a great tool for helping teachers to develop higher order critical thinking abilities in students. Referring to the taxonomy's concepts during the process, planning help teachers to focus in on appropriate objectives for group and individual, and to plan for their progressions in the short, medium, and long term. For example, if we talk about the level number 1, that's remember. Remember means to recall facts and ideas. At this level, students are challenged to recall and remember the basic fact and the information of any story, of any object, or of any text. Then they move to next level. The next level is understand. They understand or comprehend. When they comprehend or understand the information, they and grasp its meaning, and then they give this type of understanding give students a chance to show a fundamental understanding of any story, text, project, or any learning. Then they move towards the third level in Bloom's taxonomy, and it is application. Whatever they remember, whatever they understand. Now this is the time to apply whatever they learn. To apply, to use informations, theories, concepts, and skills to solve all the problems. Now they remember, understand, and now the students are able to apply these concepts and these learning. Now come to the next level. This is analyze. When they learn, they understand, and they apply, so they'll analyze to make connections and recognize patterns and deeper meanings. At this level, students can demonstrate the story into new components, into their own ideas, into their imaginations. All the things they include at this level. So this is the analyze. And the next topic and the next level is evaluate. In the next level of evaluate, to make and justify and judge and assess what is going on, what is wrong, what is right, what can be a test, what cannot be tested. So this level gives the students an opportunity to develop an opinion and back it up with reasoning and evidence. Now come to the last and the top level of Bloom's taxonomy. That's the level of creativity. Now they create, they are able to combine all the elements and they are learning and create and develop a new original work, a new thing, a new era. So this is Bloom taxonomy. So through this taxonomy, through this level of learning, that's give opportunity for students to take what they have learned and make something new from it. Now, when we talk about this Bloom's taxonomy and the STEM educations when they mix together. So now come to, because in STEM education, we always keep students engaged. We engage them in a procedural management, means methods. We engage them in a conceptual management, so they get the concepts, what concepts they are going to find, and what concept they are going to learn. Then they also engage in consequential engagement, connecting solutions with implications and recognizing the values of disciplinary tools to achieve particular consequences. And the last, critical engagement. They start asking questions whether the disciplinary tools begins employed are appropriate or not. Is it fruitful or not? Is it useful or not? And they start this type of questioning and start thinking. Now you can see that they become a thinker only because you just move step to step, levels to level, and give them opportunity to create a special phenomena. And after this engagement, a very old Chinese but very famous proverb comes in my mind. That's tell me and I will forget. You tell me and I'll forget. You show me, so maybe I remember. When I see the things, maybe I remember. But if you will get me involved, definitely I will understand. And that's a long lasting. So this is the how STEM education is important and how it works. Now, main thing when we start learning and when we learn from Bloom's taxonomy level to level, now we find the students are creative. They create something new according to their learning. The teamwork, coordination is there, cooperation is there, communication is there, and creativity, obvious creativity is there. Initiative, they start taking decisions. And then critical analysis, whatever they take decisions, they also criticize them. Okay, maybe it's good. Maybe if we will do in this way, so our results will be more better than this. Then they start solving the problems. Their communication skills enhance. They are more comfortable to argue and give some points about their learning. They also learn the digital literacy, and they also learn an independent, what is independent thinking, because although they are working in team, but they also learn what is the individual thinking is this. Now I move to my next slide. Over there, I just give you some little procedure, how we can do this. We have to give them practice, and then we will do observe their performance and give them some examples. So we will find that yes, our STEM education is moving ahead. For example, if you give them practice of asking questions, learner distinguish questions can be tested and questions can't. For example, if after observing children on swings, learners can think and ask whether heavy child swing faster or longer. If you will give them practice of designing experiments, so children compare and collect data. For example, a very simple activity, float and sink activity. They will find which object float at the surface of water and which objects sink in the water, and then they collect data. If you give them opportunity to develop models, they will start behave like a thinker. And for small real problems, they are able to solve them. They start thinking that look all around, some areas are with the plants and some are not. What is the reason? And what is the effect of this? Next, if you will give them using data, so they connect real world observation and symbols. For example, if they make the weather chart with the symbols, so they can find out what type of clothes they are need or at different weather or during different weather. Then if you will give them communication, to communicate each other, to talk with each other, so they start sharing the develop understanding about things and discuss. Learners provide arguments, advices based, and observations to help others stay safe and comfortable. So this is the simple phenomena and simple method you can use STEM education, because you'll give them simple little practice and you will find the result. You will see the result. Now, next, we have to learn what education provides. Education, STEM education provides the ability to STEM problems, the ability to seek new knowledge, the applications of the STEM and their concepts, the ability to solve problems using STEM, the ability to communicate information relating to STEM, and the ability to make decision based on STEM. So now, after that apply these strategies and these practices, we make students a complete a person that can think and that can solve problems. So this is STEM education provide us. Now, what are the simple elements of a STEM education? When we talk about the STEM, so definitely this first comes S for science, T for technology, E for engineering, and M for maths. So now we will begin with science. Science gives learners an in-depth understanding of the world around them. It helps them to become better at research and critical thinking. So we always, these are the first basic element of STEM education, science. We give them ideas, we give them some material, we give them some issue and ask them to solve it. And so they start critical thinking. The next is using technology thoughtfully. Now you know every child has technology in their hands, but how they use it, the thing is that in 21st centuries, the generation that has never known a world without the smartphones, tablets, and constant access to the internet. STEM educations can help our children to get them sooner and faster. To be precise, they need to learn how to process, discuss, check facts, and use the information they get from different sources while while they are still young and using their smart gadgets. They take for granted gadgets that seems new to grown-ups. There was once a time not too long ago when educators believed that young children could not learn real things in virtual environment. But it's not like this. Now, in the students of 21st century, they prove that that idea is not correct. It's false. A lot of learning can occur in the virtual context that surrounds young children today. But the only thing that required is proper guidelines and support. So this is using technology thoughtfully. Now, when we talk about the engineering allows students to enhance problem-solving skills and apply knowledge in a new project from a new ways. Engineering is using nature's energy and resource to fulfill needs, solve problems, and achieve goals and solve all the problems. And engineering experiences, we can only simply summarize it that you think about it, you try it, because there is something. So you, first of all, you think it, then you start trying it, because without trying, you cannot conclude anything and you cannot create anything. And once you try, then definitely you fix it. And once you fix it and you will get a reasonable result, so then share it. So this sharing enhances others' learning as well. So engineering is no doubt, it's full of excitement and it's exciting. Now, maths is everywhere. We cannot get rid of mathematics. Mathematics enables children to analyze information, eliminate errors, and make conscious decisions when designing solutions. STEM education links these disciplines into a cohesive system. Thus, it prepares professionals who can transform society with innovation and sustainable solution. You can see in the picture, if you will talk about a cup of tea, I just want to have a cup of tea. Maths is here. If you want to sell anything, maths is here. If you want to go buy anything, maths is here. If you say there are only 2 cookies on the plate, maths is here. So maths is everywhere because number is everywhere. So maths provides children to become innovative and they provide sustainable solutions. Now, when we talk about elements of STEM education, now we have to learn what are the tips and what are the strategies which we are teacher or parents to follow to promote STEM skills. Because when we go into the classroom, there are multiple intelligence children. They are not at the same level. They have different learning styles. So first step, make a regular habit of reading science and technology magazines together. Just sit together at home and the teachers read aloud. And if it's not possible, that ask them, give them link, give them some handouts, just read it. We will discuss it tomorrow. Next step, watch scientific, interesting videos and documentaries together. When we watch these type of videos together, so that the learners who is critical, who has a lot of questions in his or her mind, so they can ask questions then and there, and then they can fulfill their desire and the thirst of knowledge. So watch scientific and interesting videos and documentaries together. My next tip is participate and attend in a STEM event or activity together. This is believe me, it's very, very good activity. because over there they learn how to cooperate with each other, how to collaborate, how to communicate, and how they create something. So when they do any activity together, they will be able to find out new ideas. And through these different ideas, when merged together, definitely a very new and important things come out. My next is motivate and help your children to take things apart and then put them back together to see how they work. This is very simple activity. You can do it with Lego, you can do it with jigsaw puzzle. Ask them, think, first make a part, keep them separate, put them separate, and then again join them. So it's not possible they fix them with the same time. They just make something new, and that creates the creativity that enhance their learning, their level of thing, that what's the thing, new things, how we can make new thing. So this is very important tip. Then you have to motivate and help your children to take things apart. My next is play video games that involve science, creativity, and challenges that also create them, make them cooperative, creative, and innovative. Then come to the next is visit a museum or planetarium. So they will find some different science, how science work, how science technology is there. They will start thinking about. Then they have to go on nature hike. This is also very important, because not always give them that gadgets and artificial intelligence. We have to provide them some fresh and natural environment. So they will also integrate that natural environment with the technology. And this is a proper, and I must say, this is the real learning. Okay, now next, use online resources. So ask them, if you have gadgets, if you have a smartphone, why not using it effectively? Why not apply those apps which are already in your smartphones and just enhance and solve your problems? So this is all the tips. Now, I just say, never too young for a STEM. It is clear that younger children enjoy and benefit from early experience with the STEM contents and the practice of science and engineering. So don't think that young children cannot do. Believe that they are more innovative, more creative, and they are like to do this type of activity. Now, learning strategies. I want all of you that use cross-cutting concepts. I will give you quickly over this, that cause and effects, mechanism explanation, and then you have to make the questions. What makes things move? Why do things fall? What slow down motion? What does energy change a substance? Energy, and if you give them cross-cutting concepts, there's energy and matter, flows and cycle and conservation. So the question will arise that leads to conceptual understanding. Where does an energy goes as an object move? What is a food chain? How does energy change a substance? In the same way, when they learn the concept, scales, proportion, and quantity, they learn why does a big animal need to eat more than a small animal. You see, there's a simple questions from all around the children, but they open so many doors to think about it. So now we are preparing future generation through this STEM education. After getting this education, they can be scientists, they can be or lawyer, they can be scientists, and they can be astronomers. These help us Now, if we make them, so I just want to discuss some little quickly the essentials for making a STEM education a success. When we are asking them that we have to integrate all these disciplinaries and subjects together, so we have to make it and keep it in the mind that there are some essential things. For example, there are some basic steps that parents and teachers can take to help their kids and students explore STEM education. For example, start early. Early exposure to STEM education has proved to be beneficial across the entire spectrum of learning. Second element, essential point is that engage kids in logical arguments. When we enhance their communication skills, so they have to raise problems and ask kids to find solution based on their knowledge. You have to give them any one single problem and then ask them to find solution based on your own knowledge, based on your own information. Then use hand-on activities. There are many simple science experiments that you can do together with things you can find at home. Now, bring science to children's daily life. When you are walking around the house, putting together, painting a wall, or driving, try to explain how science, technology, engineering, or math is being used. So this is the things which are essential to make a STEM education successful. Teach often, like reading and writing skill. STEM education needs practicing and reinforcement. If you are a teacher or you are a parent, you have to try to review all the materials you have taught or you have the students and you have already used. Every now and then make sure you have include enough time and diverse material in your syllabus. So they reinforce and recall all those concepts. Encourage kids to become scientists. Try to improve the image of STEM education as an interesting subject rather than something dull or tough. Explain how science and scientists have changed the world and encourage children to become one thought STEM learning. So these are the simple main elements. Last word, not the end. We all learn differently, which is why so many different teaching methods must be used to reach individual students. By understanding different learning frameworks, teachers and parents are better equipped to understand their students and children and select methods and techniques that promotes the best kind of learning they deserve. We have to provide them the best kind of learning and best kind of experiences because they deserve a lot from the from the parents and as well as from the teacher. Now, these are some pictures of my school where we conduct so many STEM activities in the classroom, in the library, outside the ground, and they all are doing independently. I just give them some instructions and provide them material. And they did all these activities with full concentration, interest, and they love that activity. So this is my pictures of my classroom. These are the references which I use to prepare my presentation. And now be connected from me. This is my email address. This is my LinkedIn link. This is my Facebook. And this is my Instagram link. So I would love to connect with you. And whenever you need any help, any support, any point, feel free to call and feel free to give me mail. I will be there. So from right now, this is the end of my presentation and webinar. Thank you so much. And thank you once again. Be a part of this webinar. And thank you so much, IIU, to give me a wonderful and a great opportunity to connect with the people. Okay, thanks a lot.